In celebration of Women's History Month and International Women's Day, Dress for Success Atlanta is participating once again in the Your Hour Her Power campaign. And as a part of that campaign, we are honoring 31 women here in Atlanta who are leaders in their industries. Each of these women exemplifies empowered leadership and have prioritized making the lives of other women better in all sorts of ways. And today I have the distinct pleasure of speaking with Jenn Hobby. Jenn and I have the great pleasure of working together at WSB TV on the Daily too. So I know firsthand how great she is in the community and serving as a great example for women in Atlanta and beyond. So thank you, Jenn, for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's quite an honor to be here.
Tell us a little bit about your career path.
Well, I fell in love with radio and TV at a very young age. When I was in high school, my parents were very strict about having TVs on, but I was so in love with watching Katie Couric on the Today Show that they actually let me have a TV in my room so I could watch her before going to school in the morning. So I knew from an early age that was something I was really drawn to and wanted to do. I loved the ability to connect with audiences and the ability to connect with communities. And so that's kind of where it began as a spark from being a fan. And then in college, I started working in radio and television as soon as possible in different internships and just really found my place and have enjoyed every minute of it. In college, I worked at a radio station and we did a radiothon for an organization called St. Jude. And it was the first time in my life I had been a part of something where we were able to bring strangers together. So it was just people serving other people in their community, people they didn't know, people maybe they didn't have the same challenges as, but they showed up in droves to give toys, to give money, and to support these families going through a hard time. And being on the radio side of it, I thought, wow, this is really cool how this is the connecting piece. This is the piece that is bringing all of these people together and bringing this message out to the community. So that was really the big spark for me to pursue radio. And I've always done television as well, but more in a part-time role. So I've done some live sports TV shows, which has been a whole lot of fun. One for the Atlanta Falcons with my friend DJ Shockley and Randy Waters. And that was a blast for many years. And also on different outlets throughout Atlanta. But of course, now my favorite is with Brittany at WSB TV hosting the Daily too. It's been a great new, exciting, fun challenge.
And we are so lucky to have you. Specifically, as women, how can we help kind of empower the next generation of women leaders?
I think it's leaning into young women and leaning into older women. So making sure that the value of females in your workspace, whatever that looks like, is present in the way that you approach them. So I mean that by let's say there's a group meeting in a big conference room, and you're leading that meeting. Who are you calling on first to answer? You know, is it always going to be the loudest person in the room or maybe the most gregarious personality? Because sometimes that isn't the women in the room. They may not feel that confident. So can you help draw out that confidence from a younger team member or even an older team member who's feeling undervalued on their team? You know, how can you highlight the skill set of other women and lift them up collectively together? And really being intentional about that.
Well, what has helped you continue to grow and develop as a leader?
This is a great question. And I grow as a leader by surrounding myself with other women leaders. And I'm a part of a small group through my faith-based organization, but this small group is all female leaders. So they lead publicly held companies, they lead private businesses, they lead teams of young people, teams of older people, teams of volunteers, and they're in all different industries that you can imagine, from real estate to banking to the restaurant industry. So, and, I'm in the media world, to church leaders. And so all these women come together and they really raise the level for me because they're operating in front of their teams. And this is a safe space where we come together once a month. We have lunch and we talk about our challenges. We talk about our wins. We talk about the mistakes that we've made. And from their mistakes and from their wins, I learn how to do things and take those same concepts into my own life. And I also feel like it's a safe space to share some of the challenges that I'm going through, because as a leader, it's venting to your team is not the way to roll. There are some things that are just expected of you on a different level when you're in a leadership position. And what may have served you well when you were climbing up the ladder isn't serving you in the same way when you're a leader. So I think finding other leaders, maybe outside your industry or even inside your industry that you trust and that you can be open and honest with is a great way to propel your own leadership skills forward.
Definitely. Yeah. I think that that is something that we do try to do at Dress for Success too. Just the importance of networking and having those people that you can bounce the ideas off of and that can help you look for those opportunities. It really is so important. So thank you, Jenn, so much for giving us your time and some of your insight. We appreciate it.
I am honored to be a part of this. This is so exciting. Thank you.
And for everyone watching, please join in the Your Hour, Her Power campaign. Go to atlanta.dressforsuccess.org/donate or search at Dress for Success Atlanta on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn and click the link to donate.